Hello everybody, Raven Knight here. So, get this guys, whenever I do a For Honor stream, right, I always inevitably get people asking me, hey man, who's your favorite character in For Honor? How do you feel about this hero? Do you like this hero? Do you dislike this hero? Why do you dislike this hero? That kind of thing. And you know what? I love getting those questions. I love gushing and talking about each of the heroes and kind of elaborating on what I love and hate about each one of them. And you know what? A thought occurred to me the other day. Lark and I, at the beginning of the month, made a tier list on the female Primarchs, which was admittedly a very silly and stupid video, but we had a great time making it. And the thought occurred to me, why don't I do a tier list on the For Honor cast? I've never made one, and this could be a lot of fun. Now, I'm going to start very simple. In the future, I may do more tier lists, depending on how this one does, where I rank them based on historical accuracy, based on design, based on lore, based on what have you. But today, what I really want to do is just give a very subjective, very personal take on each member of the cast and kind of go over, okay, here's how I feel about each one. How I feel about them is going to be based on, you know, how I like whether or not I enjoy playing them, how I feel about going up against them, whether or not I think they're balanced. Just, it's going to be about anything and everything. It's going to be very personal, so please understand at the very offset, this is a subjective list. This is all based on my personal opinion. So if you disagree for whatever reason, please understand. You're free to disagree. I won't judge you for it. Please don't judge me too harshly. I will elaborate on each one and based on how I feel about them, okay? So, I'm really excited. Let's get started. So, we're going to start off with the OG, the big man himself, Warden. How do I feel about Warden? Honestly, I'm going to put Warden right up there in A tier. In my opinion, Warden is the OG hero. I've done a whole video on him, analyzing him and how I feel about him. But if you don't know yet, Warden was one of the first characters I picked up. Not the first one was Orochi, but after I started playing Warden, I just really fell in love with the design and the aesthetic. I didn't like the playstyle though, and for a long time, I would have put Warden in C or D tier because while I love the design, I could not get good with them until I started following Havoc, and after I started following Havoc, then I came to really appreciate how awesome Warden was. The playstyle was good, the design was good, and he's recently gone through a lot of different buffs to his feats and to his shoulder bash and all kinds of stuff, so you know what, I have to move him up to A tier. I feel like at A tier, you know, it's just a really good tier, an overall good place to be. Not perfect, but so good that I just keep coming back to him. Many people ask, hey, who's your main in For Honor? And it's hard for me to answer that because I don't really have a main. I play everyone, but Warden currently sits with the highest number of reps out of any character. So, you know what, if I were to pick a main, Warden would probably be a contender. I just really love playing him. He's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I do love him, so that is where I put him. Awesome. All right. Next up is Conqueror. Conqueror, I'm gonna have to, this may seem a little odd, but I'm gonna put him in C tier. Conqueror sits in C tier for me because I do think he's strong. He's definitely a strong character now, stronger than he has been before, but there's some problems with him. When I put a character in C tier, it's because I just have a kind of feeling towards them, and not in a good way. Conqueror's ability to go into a lot of oranges, like be it a bash or an unblockable, it makes him strong and hard to predict, but I also feel like it's very hard to punish him, which makes him oppressive to play against. But then there's the fact that when you play as him, he still doesn't have a roll catcher, which a lot of people have, you know, said is a problem. And then there's the fact that this is going to sound weird, but I kind of miss the OG Conqueror. Like, I miss his ability to do an infinite zone, which I thought was really cool. I also like that he was the only character who could not feint anything, and you might think, why would you, like, wasn't that a bad thing? Yes, but it meant that you had to be more careful with Conqueror. You had to be more careful about how you used him, and there's something about that I miss. Is he better now? Yeah, he's definitely better than he was before, I won't deny that, but there's something about his originality that I really liked. And plus, if I'm going to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of all of his designs. Like, a lot of his looks look a little bit trashy, and it's not really my thing, so Conqueror doesn't get a lot of points from me. He's still good, he's still decent, which is why he's in C tier, but it's just an kind of feel for me for Conqueror. Next up is Peacekeeper. Okay, Peacekeeper and I have a weird relationship. When I first started playing the game, I hated Peacekeeper. I absolutely hated her. I thought of the Knight faction, she is the worst, just like, she's got an assassin aesthetic and she looks kind of cool, but I could not figure out how to play her. I felt like there were better bleed characters like Nobushi or Shaman. Just Peacekeeper to me did not feel like a fun hero to play. But I still played her, I still practiced with her, I still tried to learn her, but I just could not enjoy her. And then I discovered Wextra's channel, who is the queen of PK, and after watching her, I learned, oh wow, PK is actually not that bad. PK actually can be pretty stellar. So I'm gonna have to take PK and move her up to A tier, and in fact, I'm probably gonna slide her a little in front of Warden, because while I think Warden has the better overall design and design options, PK, I have had so much fun playing. There's something about taking a character that I used to hate and gradually learning to love them that it's euphoric. See, Warden I already kind of liked, but learned to like even more. Peacekeeper went from I absolutely can't stand this character to holy crap, I love playing this character. So after learning how to use her more effectively, how to soft feint a lot of her moves that I didn't know you could soft feint, how to, you know, adjust my timing and reads and deflect better, I have come to really, really like PK. Plus, there is something really satisfying about that last laugh, I'm not gonna lie. There is something really satisfying about that last laugh. So PK, you've earned your spot in A, definitely. Lawbringer. Okay, Lawbringer has divided the community since his update, and I can understand why. To half the community, he is a god. He is absolutely incredible. He's been turned into the ultimate character, the best character in the game. Just, this is kind of what we want. This is the piece de la piece de resistance. This is the character we were begging for when we first saw Lawbringer. Then the other half says he is an oppressive, bash-spamming douchebag that is very hard to read, very hard to deal with, and absolutely annoying to go against. And I understand that too. Running into a very skilled Lawbringer is hell, and running into a halfway skilled Lawbringer is just bash city. It becomes very, very annoying. So I totally get that. So where does he fall for me? All right. This is going to piss some people off, but S tier. I'm sorry. No, hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not putting him there because of any other reason other than that's kind of where I always wanted Lawbringer to be. Hear me out on this. When I first started playing the game and I saw all the knights, Lawbringer, to me, was the G, the god, the best, and I wanted him to be the best. Then he got nerfed into the floor, and I was depressed, because he went from being the character I wanted to be the number one, to the character who is objectively the worst on the Knights faction. Now he's back up to god status. Now, is he a little overcooked? Yeah, he's a little overcooked. He's a little annoying at times to fight against, but he's also right where I wanted him. Lawbringer is now at the point where I wanted him to be at the very beginning. And it's kind of like that, you know how, if you've ever seen the anime One Punch Man, you know how Saitama always wanted to be a super powerful hero, then he becomes a super powerful hero and it's boring for him now and he kind of hates it? That's kind of where I am with Lawbringer. He's everything I wanted him to be. Damn, he's everything I wanted him to be. You know, what an irony, what an irony. He's become what I wanted, and he kind of needs to be backtracked a little bit. But because Lawbringer deserves that top spot, he really does deserve to be one of the best characters in the game, I wanted to put him up there because that's where I always dreamed of him going, and that's why I put him up there. And again, guys, if you disagree with me, I totally understand. I'm just trying to explain my position, okay? All right. Moving on to Raider. Raider is next. Okay, Raider, I'm going to put him in A tier, and I'm going to slip him just behind Warden. I actually really like playing Raider. I know that's surprising because I don't play Raider all that often, and a part of that is because Raider is a very simple hero to get the hang of. Like I've said in his video, with Raider, he's a beginner's best friend. His moveset is very simplistic, very easy to pick up and understand, and because of that, it's kind of like the difference between eating toast and eating a full course meal. The toast is good for you, you know, it's simple, it's basic, it doesn't require a lot. But at the end of the day, you're going to want a full course meal, aside from just the toast, and that's kind of why I don't play Raider as often. But what I love about Raider is the fact that, again, he's easy to pick up, easy to play, and even though he's gone through very few changes lately, he still holds his own as one of the best characters in the game, in my opinion. Like, many people can just grab a Raider and go to town. His soft feints are pretty hard to read. His unblockable is one of the best in the game, I think, besides, say, I think Highlander or JJ. Like, he's hard to read and he's hard to anticipate sometimes, and yet at the same time, he's not so OP that you can't enjoy him. So I do think Raider deserves a spot at A tier. So, yeah, good job, Raider. Next up is Warlord. Okay. Warlord is going to go in B tier, but a little ahead of... Actually, you know what? No, a little behind Conqueror. A little behind Conqueror. So here's my thing about Warlord. Many people ask me, do I think Warlord needs fixing? Do I think that he needs an update? Do I think that he needs a buff? Here's the thing. The reason people ask that is because he's probably the For Honor character who's gotten the least edits since his release. He has a very basic move kit. He is very simplistic to play. He is not complicated in the least. And because of that, I think a lot of people want more intricacy to his moveset. And as a result, yeah, he can be kind of boring to play when all you do is you just sit behind your shield and you counterattack. That's it. You either do a all guard and then respond with a light, you do a crushing counter, you parry everything, whatever the case, you turtle up. And here's a true story. I pointed out long ago that the primary playstyle you wanted with Warlord was turtling, and people tried to argue with me saying, no, he's a harasser. I'm like, play against a Warlord just for 10 minutes. He's not a harasser. The only thing harassing about Warlord is his headbutt. Everything else, it's all turtling, doing crushing counters, doing all guard, or doing the parrying, like all that. That's all Warlord has to him. Like, he can trade blows and he can counterattack. That's kind of his thing. And because of that, I find Warlord kind of boring to play. I don't really enjoy picking up Warlord because I just don't think he's that fun to play. But is he effective? Yes, he is effective. Warlord, surprisingly, for having such a limited moveset, is very effective, which is why they haven't changed him. The question is, if it's not broke, do you break it? I feel like if they tried to adjust Warlord's moveset by adding more to it, I'm worried they'd break him, you know? He's kind of in a perfect spot, a boring spot, but a perfect spot. So yeah, that's kind of why I don't see Warlord changing anytime soon, because he's in a good spot. Yeah. Which, he's boring. I don't really like playing him all that much, but he's effective. So I put him in C. Kind of the same place as Conqueror, just kind of a kind of opinion. All right, next up is Berserker. All right, Berserker. I'm going to have to put you in D tier. You are my first D tier. Okay, let me explain why. Berserker is an assassin in name only. I feel like he is the most un-assassin of all the assassin characters. He has more hyper armor than some vanguards and heavies do. Here's the thing. If I go up against a Berserker, I know I'm in for hell. I'm just in for hell. They have an undodgeable dodge attack. They can free flow into lights and heavies. They can cancel their heavy into a hyper armor light from another direction. They do a lot of damage in a short amount of time. Their deflect, I think, is the best deflect in the game because it guarantees a guard break, which allows for ledges, wall splats, or a free heavy. Just dear lord. And then there's his zone, which is pretty strong. It does a lot of damage for what it is. Guys, Berserker is incredibly strong, and I hate fighting them. I absolutely hate fighting them. It is so irritating. I feel like Berserker, when it comes to Berserker, it's just turn off your brain, go Oonga Boonga, throw your heavies and throw in a few lights to mix it up, and then deflect when you get the chance. Just, it's so annoying. I get so annoyed by Berserker. Like objectively, he's a good character. He's strong. He may be one of the strongest of the Vikings, but he annoys the spit out of me. He really does. So Berserker, you're sitting in D tier. You just annoy me too much. Oh, and I should explain. The reason I put him D tier and not F tier is F tier I reserve for the characters that I want nothing to do with. Like, I can still play Berserker and still have a decent time. F tier is, I don't like fighting you, and I frankly don't like playing you, okay? So, there you go. That now you understand. All right, next up is Valkyrie. Actually, Valkyrie, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to put you in B tier. I actually do enjoy playing Valkyrie. I think Valkyrie is a fun character. The reason she doesn't make A tier for me is because with A tier characters, they're characters that I not only enjoy playing, but I also feel like are pretty well balanced and pretty fun and pretty enjoyable to play. Like, they're very strong. Valkyrie, though, I don't feel is that strong. And again, this is all personal for me, but Valkyrie doesn't have a lot of pressure other than her shield bash, which guarantees a light, and the sweep, which can be effective, but I sometimes feel like, maybe it's just me, but I feel like the sweep isn't always consistent. There are times where I'm sure I landed a sweep, but they somehow dodged it in a awkward timing that made it so that they got away from it. And then there's the fact that I can never seem to time her dodging a pin attack where she does a crushing counter but pins in the dodge. You know what I'm talking about? She has an enhanced dodge block and then gets that pin that does bleed damage. I can never seem to time that right. Plus, I've run into quite a few Valkyries who just rely on their light spam, and if a character relies way too much on their light spam, it does kind of hurt them, in my opinion. So Valkyrie, I feel like needs something. I'm not sure what though. Maybe a hyper armor on something, or maybe just a little, maybe a faster dodge attack, or I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what she needs. I do enjoy playing her, but she's not as fun to me as Warden, Raider, and Peacekeeper, which is what keeps her out of A tier. I still like her though. I still enjoy her. And again, show me your face, Valk. Like, we've gotten all the other ladies to show their faces. You need to take off the helmet and show everyone your face. I'm just saying. All right. Next up, Kensei. Okay, so Kensei. I'm gonna put you in A tier, but a little ahead Warden and behind Peacekeeper. So the reason I put Kensei in A tier is I actually do enjoy playing them, and they are a very strong hero. Kensei also hasn't gone through a whole lot of changes since their inception, other than maybe a few minor tweaks. I think that they are a lot of fun. I think that Kensei is, in many ways, an underappreciated hero. They're a hero that I feel like, again, a beginner player could pick up and get a lot of speed and get a lot of mileage out of, and pro players can pick up and still make work really, really well. They've got a easy to understand moveset, but it's not Unga Boonga levels of baby instinct. Like, you actually have to think a little bit on how you want to do things. I feel like when you pick up a For Honor character, there are some characters like Warlord, Goki, and Ocelot, who you can just turn off your brain, press buttons, and win. Kensei, I don't think you can do that. You can't just press buttons and win with Kensei. You've got to think out how you play, and that adds a level of fun to Kensei that I really, really like. So that's why I put Kensei in A tier. The reason he's a little behind Peacekeeper is, again, with Peacekeeper, I started from the very bottom of hating this character and then rose up to love her. Kensei, I kind of always liked. I kind of always enjoyed Kensei. So it was an easy transition for me to go from, Kensei needs some work too. I like Kensei. I like Kensei now. So he's got to sit behind Peacekeeper just a little bit. Shugoki. All right. Shugoki, you're going to be a little in front of Berserker. A little in front of Berserker, but you're sitting in D tier. Okay. I also cannot stand going up against Shugokis. They are incredibly annoying to me. Maybe it's because I'm bad at reading. Maybe it's because I just am not as good at anticipating the moves. And maybe it's just because I'm a casual player who isn't that great at understanding all the proper counters and stuff. But I cannot figure out Shugokis. Whenever I run into Shugoki, I almost always get destroyed very quickly unless I get some backup from a teammate. Their hyper armor on everything is insanity. They did recently get that nerf with the missed headbutt thing, but even with that, I still don't enjoy going up against them. Plus the hug. And let me tell you one of the things that annoys me more than anything. It's when I'm in a 1v2 match and I'm trying my hardest to, get the upper hand or just hold out, and the Shugoki is just throwing hugs consistently. And anytime I try to dodge the hug, I get caught with an undodgeable or a guard break or something. It becomes absolutely irritating. So yeah, Goki is just really annoying, and I can play them, I can enjoy them, but Goki is just really hard for me to really, really enjoy. I know that there are a lot of people who swear by the fat man, and I do understand it. He's a meme in and of himself, but he's just not my favorite. Next up is Orochi. Okay, Orochi I'm going to put in B tier, but behind Valkyrie. So this is going to sound weird because in streams you've heard me bitch about Orochi. Here's the thing. I don't blame Orochi for being a difficult character. I blame the players. Orochi has always had this, let's say, reputation for being a cowardly bitch. They basically hide behind their feet. They run away from every match they know they can't win. They just dart around the map. They will drop a nail bomb and then take off running. They'll throw a kunai. They'll shoot a longbow. You get those kind of Orochi players. They exist, and I've run into a lot of them, and they're the ones that piss me off. But then there are also Orochi players who don't play that way, who are very creative with how they use the character. They have learned the character inside and out. They know how to survive a 1v3 without having to run away all the time. They don't have to rely on their feats to win because they're just that good. I think Orochi's a little strong. He's definitely one of the stronger assassins out there. And I do feel like I get frustrated very quickly dealing with them, but again, that comes from me being a casual player. The reason I put them in B tier is kind of the opposite of Valkyrie. With Valkyrie, I enjoy playing her, but I feel like she could be a little stronger. With Orochi, I enjoy playing him, but I feel like he could be a little weaker. I know that sounds crazy to say, but there are times I feel like, look, with Orochi, it's one of two things. Either I'm spanking the enemy so hard I feel bad, or I'm up against an Orochi and I'm getting spanked so hard I feel bad. And it's kind of like, ugh, you know, it's just really frustrating. I still enjoy them, though. I still like them. They've got good design, and believe it or not, Orochi was the very first character I mained in For Honor. I loved Orochi. I thought they were awesome. But then I fell in love with Warden, and so the relationship changed. I'm sorry, Orochi. We still text. We're still friends. But that's my stance on Orochi. Okay. Nobushi. All right. Nobushi. Where do I want to put you? Okay, so the troll in me wants to put her in S tier just because she's waifu material, but I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that. I'm going to put Nobushi in B tier, but ahead of Valkyrie. So, okay, so here's why I put Nobushi there. I like Nobushi for her design, for one thing. Her design is really good. I also like the Naginata. It's a good weapon. I've always been a fan of that weapon. And I'll admit, she's cute. I was in a relationship with a Japanese girl for a long time, and so she kind of reminds me of that. So it's a little bit of bias, but I warned you this was going to be a bit biased. But at the same time, I'm not going to pretend like she's not a little weak. I hate the fact that all of her dodge attacks, whether it's heavy or light, when parried, can be treated as a light parry. I think that she does rely a lot on light spam, which can be very annoying. And don't get me wrong, I understand, you know, it takes skill to deal with light spam. But I feel like because her heavies are so easily dealt with, I feel like she relies on it a little bit too much. Her heavies are either going to be a basic heavy, or an undodgeable heavy, and so most people know, okay, I just won't dodge. And then you think, oh, but you can kick. Yes, but then the kick only guarantees a light. I feel like she needs a little something extra to apply pressure. I feel like there's just a little something extra she needs. She did get something nice by adding some iframes to her dodge, which I think really helps her, but she's still in a place where I feel like she could be a bit stronger. A lot like Valkyrie, I feel like she could be a little bit stronger, and then she might be up there to A or S tier, but as she stands right now, she's B tier. But I do love Nobushi. I do really like her. I'm one of the few people out there who really thinks, you know, Nobushi gets a lot of hate from the community that she doesn't deserve. A lot of people point at her and just say, bleed spam, light spam, and here's the thing. I get the criticism, I get the complaint, I really do, but there's more to Nobu than that. And I really think that she deserves a little bit more respect. Plus, okay, she's kawaii. Okay, she is kawaii no desu. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm cringe. All right. Let's move on. Those are actually all the original characters. Now we're moving on to all the DLC characters. Next up is Centurion. Okay. Centurion in the past, I would have put up an A or S tier because he was just so awesome. I loved playing him. I even loved playing against him. He was hard to read sometimes, but I could really enjoy a good Centurion match. Now I'm putting him in C tier. In fact, I'm putting him in below Warlord because after they made the changes to stamina, to a lot of what Centurion was good at, he can no longer do. He can no longer punish stamina. He has moves now in his moveset that are entirely worthless. Yeah, Centurion got nerfed so hard he went down several tiers for me. He is now in C because now I'm kind of like, ugh, with him. His drip is good. I like his design. I love his imposing presence. I think all that is really cool. But now he's just been reduced to just a stab hero with a punch fetish, and yeah, he can't drain stamina. There's so little less he can do. Centurion feels like he went from top of the heap to bottom of the barrel, you know what I'm saying? And I feel really bad for him. I feel bad putting him there. I actually feel really bad putting him there, but if you're a Centurion main, you know exactly why he went there, because it just hurts to play Centurion now. It hurts to play Centurion because there are moves that you used to be able to do to really get an advantage, and now they mean nothing. You waste your own stamina for no reward. It's so irritating. For Honor, I'm begging you, please, save my boy. Save my boy. All right, next up is Shinobi. Okay, Shinobi. I'm going to put you up in B tier, and I'm going to slide you a little behind. Actually, no, a little ahead of Orochi. A little ahead of Orochi. I'll be, no, there we go. A little ahead of Orochi. So, at first I thought, you know, Shinobi's got to be bottom of the tier list because I just hate going against them. They can be so annoying. Or they need to be top of the tier list because they're so strong. They're one of the objectively strongest characters in the game. But the reason I put them at B tier is because, for two reasons. The first is, I actually do like playing them. You know, like I said, this list is not about who's the strongest or who's the best. I'll do a different tier list for that. But what this tier list is all about is how I personally feel about the character and whether or not I find them enjoyable or not. And with Shinobi, I do enjoy playing them. I do have a good time playing them. I think that they are a very creative and fun hero, and I wouldn't have expected that from a Shinobi with this kind of design. But I think what hurts them for me is when I go up against a Shinobi, I do feel like it is just really, really annoying. There are times where it's not even playing 50-50. It's rolling a die and hoping that you get a good score. It can be very, very difficult and tricky to do it right. I enjoy them. I feel like they're a little too strong. It's kind of like what I said with Orochi. I enjoy them, but they might be a little too strong. They might need to be backpedaled again. And if this testing ground change goes live that they've been trying, I pray it doesn't, but if it does, Shinobi will be insufferable, okay? Also, okay, again, this is personal, but I do feel like Shinobi kind of caters to the weeb crowd, and I've seen way more Uchiha Shinobi than I really should, okay? I know, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with being a fan of anime. I'm a fan of anime, but there are times where I'm just kind of like, I don't want to be killed by an Uchiha. That makes me feel sick. Okay, next up. Gladiator. Oh, Gladiator. 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 You will be my first in the F tier. Okay. Gladiator's a good character. He is strong. He has a lot working for him that I like, okay? But I hate fighting them, and I hate playing as them. If I know what y'all are going to say, it's a skill issue, and you're absolutely right. It is a skill issue. I am not good with Gladiator, and I also don't want to take the time to learn how to get better, okay? I really, really don't. Here's the thing. Try to look at it from my mentality. I pick up Gladiator, I get destroyed. Go into the next match, I'm up against a Gladiator. We're all 3v1ing this Gladiator. He plays with us like we're toys, you know, he just takes care of us, bleeds us out, skewers us without effort, you know, bashes us in the face for even trying. I'm like, wow, he played well. Let me pick up Gladiator and try again. I get destroyed again in the same scenario. It's definitely a skill issue, but I don't want to keep trying. Gladiator's the kind of character that I picked up for a while to try to figure them out, and now it just annoys me to play them. I wanted to be nice and put them maybe a little higher in D or C, but I just can't do it because if I'm being honest with myself, I don't like fighting against Gladiator, and I also don't really like playing as Gladiator. It's not a character I really enjoy playing all that much. Are they a good character? Yes, they 100% are. Can you turn them into an absolute beast? Absolutely. Are there really good Gladiator players out there? Absolutely. Does he deserve to be higher on this tier list just for how good he is? Probably. But like I said, this tier list is about how I personally feel about the character, and Gladiator annoys the spit out of me, both in playing and in going up against. And if you disagree, I understand. I'm just telling you my thoughts, okay? Moving on. Highlander. Oh, Highlander, you and I have gone through a rocky road, haven't we? I am going to slide you up into A tier, right in front of Peacekeeper. You are actually higher than Peacekeeper because Highlander and Peacekeeper are very similar to me. I started off hating Highlander. I could not figure them out for the life of me. I thought they were way too complicated in terms of movesets. I thought I cannot figure out this offensive to defensive stance change. I felt like there was no reward to playing the character. I was constantly getting bitch slapped every time I tried. I couldn't stand it. Then Highlander got an update. And then Havoc was telling me about how much he loves the update. So I tried Highlander. I watched some Havoc videos to learn how he played. I played Highlander. I now love Highlander. I was dead wrong. It was a cringe-ass Raven moment. I own my fault. I own my mistake. Highlander's a lot of fun. Just, not only does he have probably the best drip of the Vikings, which isn't saying much because a lot of the Viking drip is not that good, but he also has the most imposing presence out of all of them. He has some of the best voice lines, even though you can't understand what the hell he's saying. He has the biggest sword out of all of them, which I'm just going to be real is kind of awesome. I love his sword. I know it's not practical in the slightest, but it's just so awesome to see. And just, I'm being honest, the dude is a monster. He is an absolute monster of a character. And when you can actually figure out how to play him, I really love playing the character. Is he annoying to go against? Oh yeah, I've gone against some very annoying Highlanders. But again, that's the skill thing that we talked about earlier. Why isn't he an S tier? Just because, yeah, I can run into some very frustrating Highlanders, which make me mad. But that's not the Highlander's fault. That is my fault. And now you might be thinking, well, Raven, didn't you say that Gladiator was a skill issue too? Yes, but here's the difference. I'll get back to you on that. I warned you guys. This is going to be kind of a biased list. I warned you. Don't worry. In the future, when I do future tier lists, if y'all enjoy this tier list, I will be way more objective and do this based on how good they are and other factors. Okay, moving on. Shaman. Oh, Shaman. Where to put you? I think I will put you in D tier, right behind Goki, but ahead of Berserker. Shaman, I think, is objectively one of the weaker assassins in terms of just moveset alone, but the players who pick her up make her terrifying. They make her absolutely terrifying. Here's the thing. I run into two kinds of shamans. I run into the kind who are just obsessed with their zone attack and throw nothing else. And then I run into the others who are just deflect, bleed gods. You know who you are, and I admire you. The other day I was streaming and I was I was asked to play a shaman in a duel. I'm not good with Shaman, and I proved that very well, but after getting a few tips and tricks to try, I ended up kind of enjoying playing her a bit more. Not enough to push her up to A tier or B tier necessarily, because I still think that I have a lot of trouble with her, but I do definitely enjoy playing her. So now why is she in D tier? Shouldn't I put her up with C tier? 3 reasons. The first is her fashion is terrible. I cannot stand her fashion. Most of her looks are absolute garbage. 2, I'm not a big fan of the tomahawk and knife combo. I don't think that's a very practical weapon combo to use in war, and that does hold her back a great deal for me. And then 3, I don't know, I'm kind of not a fan of the feral woman kind of thing. That's not really my style. That's not really what I enjoy. So you gotta look at it from my perspective. When they added Shaman in the game, I was kind of miffed, because I was like, you know, the Vikings weren't savages, but you literally just gave us a savage woman. Seems a little awkward, but you know, that's neither here nor there. So, Shaman, you have to sit in D tier. I don't play her all that often, and probably for that reason. I do like her, technically, and if I played her more, I'd probably get better, but I just need to play her more. And the difference between her and Gladiator is I actually want to play her more. So, there you go. Next is Aramusha. Aramusha, I am going to put you in C tier, but at the top of C tier. You're going ahead of Conqueror. Aramusha and I have a weird relationship. I actually never liked Aramusha all that much. I thought his hat looked stupid. The dual sword kind of fighting style was kind of neat, but I could never make it work for me. I could never time the all guard correctly. And then he gets his update, making him absolutely devastating to play against. And now I'm scared to go up against Aramushas, which is why he's in C. I'm just scared to go up against them. And while I can kind of enjoy playing them a little bit, like I can sometimes get some interesting matches, he's not one that I'm always excited to play. I think the best way to look at this tier list, if it's B or above, I'm excited to play the character. I can really enjoy playing this character. If it's C or below, I don't really enjoy playing this character. It's a character that I'm not excited about for several reasons. And Aramusha is a perfect example of why. I'm not ever excited to pick up Aramusha. If someone says, hey man, try playing Aramusha, I kind of go, do I have to? Now, this isn't because he's bad, it's because I'm not good. It's because I can't time it just right. But in terms of design, I've never been a fan. The two-sword style is kind of unique, but I can't really use it very well. And I think the thing that saves him for me is his update did make him a lot stronger, which makes him a lot more viable. So I'm sure if I picked him up some more and played him a bit more, I think I'd enjoy him more. But where he stands now, no, that's kind of where he sits. Now we're moving on to the Wulin, the Tandi. Tandi, I'm going to slide you right up there into S tier behind Lawbringer. Okay. I always liked Tandi. I've always enjoyed them. I think they are a phenomenal hero to play. I don't even mind going up against Tiandis. I know there are some people who hate fighting Tiandis because of their undodgeable lights and their bashes, but you know what? I've never been truly annoyed by that. I think it's kind of silly that they do it all the time, but at the same time, they can be read. You can read their dodge lights if you're very careful and watch them right. And I do enjoy playing Tandi. I think they're such a fun character to use. Just the way they move around. The way, pia, pia, pia. I can't do it right. I can't do it like Havoc. Havoc, teach me your ways. But I've always loved Tandi. Tandi has always been up there with a character that I just really love playing. So Tandi, of course, is going to go into the S tier. The only reason he's behind Lawbringer is just because Lawbringer reached the peak for me. Tandi was just always S tier for me. So it's kind of like, it's weird. Tandi was always S tier to me. Lawbringer rose to S tier. He ascended. So it's a weird. Y'all know what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying? Of course you get what I'm saying. Okay. All right. Moving on. Jeong Jun. Oh, Jeong Jun. I'm gonna put you in B tier, but ahead of Nobushi. I'm gonna put you in B tier, but ahead of Nobushi. Okay, hear me out on this one. I love playing Jeong Jun. I love the style of Jeong Jun. I love the weapon of Jeong Jun. I love the unblockables of Jeong Jun. I hate the dodges of Jeong Jun. I feel like anytime I do a dodge attack with Jeong Jun, I'm gonna fail. I feel like any dodge attack you try with Jeong Jun, I'm gonna fail. Either they're gonna know I'm going for the soft feint light and they'll parry it, they're gonna guard break me before I even get started with it, my heavy is just gonna be easily blocked or parried. I feel like I get so little value off of a dodge attack, and it's so irritating. Plus, I feel like it'd be a lot better with him if I could light parry more, because I've seen so many light parrying JJs who just dominate, and I can't do that. I do love playing Jeong Jun though. He's definitely up there for me. It's just very frustrating because I think what holds Jeong Jun back for me is I love playing him. I wish I could be better with him. I think that's what holds him back for me. With Highlander, Peacekeeper, Kensei, Warden, and Raider, I can play them, enjoy playing them, and actually get a lot of value. With Jeong Jun, I can play him, but very rarely get value, and that's where it says. It just hit me. That's what I've been doing. S tier, God tier. A tier, I can play them, enjoy them, and do well. B tier, I can play them, enjoy them, and not do well. C tier, I don't really enjoy playing them all that much, but I can play them. D tier, I don't really like fighting against them. I can play them. I don't enjoy playing them. F tier, I hate you. I'm having fun with this list. Okay, next up. Nushi. Oh, my baby girl. You're going right up there. You're going right up there to S tier. Oh, I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this. But I absolutely love Nushi. She is my favorite assassin to play. One of my favorite characters to play. People have asked me, hey, who's your main? It's either Warden or Nushi. Nushi is just the bomb. I love her. Her trap attacks are so satisfying when they land. Her zone attack is now absolutely incredible. Her deflect, I feel like that deflect is the hardest to land. I feel like Nushi's deflect is the hardest to land. And when you do land it, it feels beautiful. I love the range of her heavies. I love that you can isolate opponents and do more damage with just one of her feats. Like, everything about her is just fantastic. Right up to her design, too. I love her design. I love hook swords. I think that hook swords are a really cool Chinese weapon that I really wanted to see in the game, so I'm glad that we got it. And what's funny is, I know that she was not popular on release. A lot of people did not like her. I loved her. I thought she was great, and I still love her. I think she's phenomenal. Now that she's actually been buffed and improved, I think she's perfect. I love her. I love her to death. So Nushi is S tier. I love Nushi. Next up, Shaolin. Ooh, Shaolin. I think I will put you in A tier. Just a little ahead of Warden. Okay, so my thoughts on Shaolin. I actually really like playing Shaolin. I really, really love playing Shaolin. Unlike Valkyrie, and I really need to think about this one. I didn't even think about this. Valkyrie and Shaolin are similar in neither one have unblockable attacks and therefore can't apply a lot of pressure. So why is it that I like Shaolin more? It's not the personality. If there's one thing I don't like about the Shaolin, it's that weird monkey-style personality. I know it's based on Sun Wukong, but when I look at Shaolin, I think of a staunch, disciplined monk. And that's what I like about it. I don't like how all the emotes are just him going, wah! Like, I don't like that silly monkey style thing that he does. It's really weird. I prefer, like, the stoic monk. That's what I like. And so whenever he acts like a monkey, I don't like it. I think it's because of the options his key stance supplies. I also like the fact that, this dude with so limited armor and with a stick is holding his own with some top-tier armored warriors. There's something inspiring about that. And plus, Shaolin's design, other than his monkey mask, which again, I'm not a big fan of, are really, really good. I love the design of Shaolin. It looks tight. He strikes me as this character that I absolutely can really, really find a lot of fun in. So, Shaolin's just fun. He's fun to fight against. He's fun to fight with. I love Shaolins, man. When I go up against a really good Shaolin, I can't even be mad. It's like, man, you dedicated yourself. I have been spanked by some really, really good Shaolins, and you know what? I can't even be mad about it. It's just such a fun character. All right, so that's all of them. Now it's on to the Harbinger heroes, Black Prior. Black Prior, I'm going to put you in A tier as well. I'm going to put you right ahead of Peacekeeper, but behind Highlander. Black Prior is a lot of fun to play. I really love playing Black Prior. I have a great time. When you land a good bulwark stance or a like a flip, you know what I'm talking about? I can't remember exactly what it's called, but you know the flip I'm talking about? That's satisfying. When you get more than one in the same flip, that's even more satisfying. And I think that's what makes me love Black Prior so much. It is so satisfying. He is the Dark Knight. He is the Apostle of Darkness. And it just fits so well. His designs are really cool. I love the kite shield and sword. It looks really tight. I love the references that we see there to, you know, the Norman Knights and Baldwin. You know, like, these are some great connections that we see here. I love his overall presence. I love that some of his attacks and moves are references to the Bible. I did a whole video on that called Black Prior's Sermon. Check it out. It's a really cool video. I just love playing him. The only thing that keeps him getting to S tier for me is I do not like fighting against bot 3 Black Priors. I don't know what it is, but bot 3 Black Priors can solo an entire enemy team. And you're like, really, Raven? That's the reason? Yes, that's the reason. Like I said, this is very much my personal feeling on the characters. I know it doesn't always make sense, but it is my personal feeling. So, again, and if you guys enjoy this series, if you guys enjoy this tier list, I will do more tier lists in the future where I am more objective and actually look for a specific criteria. Okay, moving on. Jormungandr. Jormungandr. I'm going to put you in C tier ahead of Aramusha. Okay. Jormungandrs annoy me. They annoy me because there are times where I know I dodge or unblockable and I still get hit by it. There are times where I get displaced and I know that I shouldn't have hit the wall, but I still do. There are times where I know that I know you're going to bash me in the knee, so I dodge, but I still get hit by the knee bash. Oh, it annoys me so much sometimes fighting a Jormungandr. But I enjoy playing them. I actually kind of like playing Jormungandr sometimes. I'm not good at them. I make a lot of mistakes. I misread a lot of things. But they're still kind of fun to play. They're kind of enjoyable. So even though they annoy me a lot and I feel dirty playing them, I still like playing Jormungandr. It's crazy. I know this list is all over the place. I apologize. Okay. All right. Next one. Hitakiri. You're going in F tier, but you're a little better than Gladiator. Okay, so why is Hitakiri in F tier, if you have to ask? The problem I have with Hitakiri... Okay, so here's the thing. Let me be real for a second, okay? Joking aside, memes aside. Hitakiri is easy for a beginner to pick up because really all you need to know is know how to variable time your heavies and mix in a bash here and there. There are times where I'll go up against a Hitakiri who never even bothers hitting the light button. They just variable time their heavies and win. I don't like this because I don't think it's a healthy mindset for the game. One of the things that I love about a lot of these characters is they have intricate, complex movesets. You have to think about what you do. You have to be careful with how you do it. You need to know every aspect of your character and every aspect of your opponent's character and understand, here's what they may do in response to this, here's what I should do in response to that. It is a mind game. It is a tactics battle going on constantly of what you need to do versus what they will respond with. With Hitakiri, I feel like you throw that all out the window and just say, heavy, 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 longer, heavy, 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 unblockable, nope, guard break, heavy, 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 and then just repeat this until you win. The amount of damage they can put out, the constant hyper armor, the bash mix-up, the sweeping bash mix-up or kicking bash mix-up, for the amount of damage it does is oppressive. And I feel like a lot of people run to Hitakiri to get easy wins, but they don't learn the game. They just learn, I'm just going to play this one character. The most toxic players I've run into, a lot. The Hitakiris annoy me the most because when they get toxic, I'm like, what are you getting toxic for? What are you acting cocky for? You played one of the most brain-dead, easy characters to play and won. Like anyone is shocked or impressed by that. See, if you had done that with someone like, say, Shaman, you earned that. You earned the right to be cocky. If you did that with Peacekeeper, you earned the right to be cocky. If you won a 4v1 as Nushi, you earned the right to be cocky. You won a 4v1 as Hitakiri? Oh, newsflash, the sky's blue too, and other things that are fucking obvious. So yeah, Hitakiri is annoying to me for that reason. Is it because they're bad? No. It's because I don't like the mentality that goes with playing them. So you might be asking, why do I put them above Gladiator? For one reason. I do actually play them sometimes. I hate you, Hitakiri, but I do play you. Because there are moments where I just go, you know what? I don't want to think. I just want to swing heavies. And for the people out there who just want to swing heavies, Hitakiri's for you. Just don't expect me to be impressed. All right, next one, Zanhu. Oh, Zanhu. I'm gonna put you in B tier, but probably at the bottom. Okay, hear me out on this one. Zanhu is strong because of their dodge cancels and their unblockable lights. That's what makes them so strong. Other than that, their moveset is incredibly basic. It's incredibly easy. It relies on just constant movement, constant bashes, constant unblockable lights, 50-50s with the unblockable heavies, and then sometimes throwing in an undodgeable zone. Like, and after you figured that out, she becomes a little boring to play after a while. So quite often what happens with me and Zanhu is I'll play them for a couple matches for a while, and then I need a long break. I need a break from Zanhu just to, you know, clear my palate a bit. But are they good? Yes, they are good. Do I enjoy playing them? Yeah, if I'm in the mood for a good Zanhu, I can play a good Zanhu, and I can enjoy it too. Zanhu can be very enjoyable, but if I'm being real, they need more to them. Maybe remove those unblockable lights and give them a little something extra, like maybe something that, I don't know, maybe add another kind of bash. Maybe make one of, and maybe you could have a dodge bash, like, you know, they have a dodge light and heavy, maybe a dodge bash to mix things up. You know, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure I have the answer for that, but the issue I have is Zanhu can be a little boring to play after a while, because I feel like they can just be so easy. But they do require you to think. I'm not saying that they're brain dead like Hitakiri. I'm saying it's more of, once you know the moveset, you kind of understand the character perfectly. It's like Warlord, but at the same time, I would say that Zanhu's a little more fun than Warlord, because at least some of her attacks have unique properties. But that's my stance on Zanhu. Next up is Warmonger. Okay, Warmonger, I am going to have to put you in A tier, but just behind Peacekeeper. Warmonger in the past would have sat down in C or B tier for me, and mostly for a spiteful reason, because everyone was just saying that Warmonger was a better Warden, and that kind of ticked me off. I didn't like that, because I feel like the two are distinct and shouldn't be, and it shouldn't be a, Warmonger's better than Warden, because, and I never liked that. I never got behind that mentality. For me, Warmonger is her own unique flavor of awesome, and now that that whole mentality is kind of gone, I now really like Warmonger. She's one of the strongest characters you can ask for in 4s because of her corruption feats, and she's honestly a really good dual character as well. Her unblockable dodge attack is absolutely incredible, one of the best dodge attacks in the game in my opinion. Her bash does bleed and can also open up for a light or heavy if variably timed right. I love the hyper armor on her last attack. It's very similar to Kensei for me. I just think that overall, Warmonger is a very fun character to play. The only reason she doesn't make it to S for me is because, again, this is kind of personal, I would kind of like a male Warmonger variant. Her designs are great. Her designs are fantastic, but I think that it just makes me think that a male Warmonger variant would be cool. I think that'd be neat, but that's just personal for me. Next up is Griffin. Griffin, I'm going to put you in B tier, and I'm going to slide you a little above Shinobi. Okay, So Griffin, for me, is a character that I want to like more. You know, they're this old, grizzled mercenary that uses a large bardiche, which is a really cool weapon to draw from, by the way. Their design can be really, really good. They've got some of the most diverse designs out of the group. The reason that they're sitting in B tier for me is 2 reasons. Number 1, I feel like they're a worse Lawbringer, and they were always kind of a worse Lawbringer. I mean, I like their dodge attack a lot, but they don't have some of the same pressure Lawbringer can apply. And I feel like if you lose... Here's the thing. I enjoy going up against Griffins, and I enjoy playing as Griffins, so I do enjoy it. But I think what hurts them the most for me is the fact that they just don't have the same kind of pressure that Lawbringer would, and I feel like they should have a little bit more to them to make them unique, especially in terms of design, and that's the second one. All of them are Holden Cross. If you were to ask me which character do I think needs to be ungender locked the most, it would be Griffin, because I feel like, imagine if you're on a team, right, and 3 of you go Griffin. Well, that's 3 Holden Crosses. When did he go to Camino and get cloned, you know? And people say, oh no, there are other versions. If you look at the face, it's all the same person. It's all the same person. And I'm kind of like, I would have liked it if there was a female Griffin, so that way we know that there are other Griffins out there. We know that there are other people out there besides just Holden Cross. I think that would actually be a really good idea. So, for Honor, if you're listening, if you're looking for a character to make a hero skin out of, do a Griffin and make it a female or someone other than Holden. You know what I'm saying? Just someone else to add to the roster. It'd be awesome. But anyway, that's why I put him there. I do enjoy playing him, and I can enjoy a good Griffin match, but I feel like for a character that's all about diversity and different fashion and trends and connections, making it all the same guy is a little silly. Kyoshin. You're going in F tier, but you're ahead of Hitakiri and Gladiator. All right. Let's talk about this. I don't like Kyoshin. I really find them annoying. Can I enjoy playing them? Yes, but I feel dirty afterwards. Here's why. Kyoshin in 1v1 isn't so bad. I can, handle a Kyoshin 1v1 okay. And their recent nerf to make it so that their second light isn't undodgeable, it is a nice change. It's good. It was necessary. But in 4v4s, which is what I play the most of, hell with Kyoshin. Just to hell with Kyoshin. I can't stand this character. Look, I'm not a fan of all-guard characters in general, okay? Black Prior to me is really cool because of his all-guard, but even then I'm kind of like, I cannot stress enough how much I hate characters who just, they get into a group, right? And then they just sit in an all-guard. They just sit in an all-guard. And I know people will say, oh, well, here's how you counter it. That's not the point. My point is, it's lazy and it's safe. And of the all-guard characters, Kyoshin, I think, is the worst. Why? Okay. Because Kyoshin will just sit there and twirl his sword. He won't lose any stamina for it. He'll just twirl his sword. And he knows that's all he has to do when he has a buddy with him. When he has a buddy with him, all he has to do is sit there. Because if you focus on the other guy, well, he can just start. He can either hold that position, or he can try to pressure you by feinting an unblockable top, or landing that unblockable top, and just applying more pressure to you. But if you turn on him and try to guard break him, well, now the other guy that he's with is going to save his ass and hit you anyway. But let's say, okay, you're not going to focus on Kyoshin, you're going to throw a zone attack to keep both back. But see, your zone attack external hit his all guard. Now his first 2 feats activate, meaning that every subsequent attack he lands not only does damage, but it bleeds you and heals him. With the first 2 feats that Kyoshin gets access to, he can now heal himself and bleed you each time he hits you after you accidentally touch his all guard, and he loses no stamina for this. It's all free, and it all comes from him just sitting there spinning his sword like a weeb. It is frustrating because you're not that good, Kyoshin. You're not playing strong. You're not playing good. You're just sitting in an all guard. You can't blame him. I can't blame the player for this because that's exactly what you should do. It's kind of like you found a way to cheat on a test. I can wag my finger at you for doing it, but I can't blame you for it because it's an easy win. It's kind of like this. I think the best way to do it is like this. This is an example I told my brother. As a teacher, let's say that I'm handing out test sheets, right? And I accidentally hand out the answer key to one of the students. And the kid uses the answer sheet to get the right answers. Now, I can wag my finger at that kid and say, hey, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have used the answer key. But at the same time, I'm the idiot who gave him the answer key. Why wouldn't he use it? Why wouldn't he take advantage of that easy win? Because it was given to him. And that's exactly what Kyoshin has wrong with him. I can't blame the players for doing exactly what Kyoshin gives them. They've been given the easy win sheet. Why not use it? And that's why Kyoshin annoys the frick out of me. Because it's an easy all guard that gives you way too much advantage in a gank. And I know, there are people out there saying, look, there's an easy way to counter that, and it's blank. But you're talking to a casual player who is only now starting to learn some of the intricacies of this game, okay? I am a hard-stuck casual. I'm not good at doing all these reads and crazy moves and stuff like that. And because of that, it is very annoying to me. And I know I have fans who swear by Kyoshin and love him. I'm not attacking you. I don't like this character. Were you ready for a Raven rant? I was not ready for a Raven rant. All right, I need a drink and then we'll finish up. Kyoshin, you annoy me. Okay, next up is Pirate. Pirate has floated up and down this tier list many times, but I'm going to go ahead and safely put Pirate right ahead of Kensei and behind Warmonger. I've actually really come to enjoy Pirate. I used to not like her all that much. Well, okay, so when Pirate first came out, I really loved her. I would have put her in S tier because the connection to her historical counterpart is really, really good. I think that was very creative of Ubisoft to do. I thought that was a really nice idea. And the whole aesthetic she has, the Chinese pirate hero, queen, really fits her. But then after a while, she went downhill for me because she was a little too OP, a little too hard to handle. I couldn't really get the hang of her. I felt like some people were just, using her to get easy wins, so I didn't like her. But over time, she's grown on me a lot more, and I've really found her fun to play. Y'all have probably noticed that I've been playing her a lot more recently, and it's not just because of the new hero skin that came out, it's because I've really enjoyed playing Pirate. I have found her a lot of fun. So Pirate to me is a character that I really enjoy playing, and if I go up against a really skilled Pirate, that's kind of a treat because I get to learn something from how they play. So yeah, Pirate to me is really fun. Plus they got one of the best executions I've ever seen lately, so that helps too. Next up is Magi. Magi. Okay, I'm going to put you in B tier. And I'm probably going to slide you up there ahead of Jeong. Yeah, just a little ahead of Jeong. Okay, so Magi to me is a character that I should like a lot more than I do. The Egyptian aesthetic is cool. He has some of the coolest drip out of all the Outlanders. I love his voice. I know he doesn't say a whole lot, but every time he speaks, it's very intimidating and very harsh, and I like it. And though his weapon is about as unpractical as it can possibly get, it's creative at the very least, and I kind of like the different stance setup, which I think is neat. And they've also changed him in a way that I really like how he plays now. He feels very fun to play. The problem is, I also feel like he's missing something. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I don't run into enough of them anymore on the battlefield, but I feel like there's something he's genuinely missing. It's almost like Magi doesn't quite make it to the top, if that makes sense. It's almost like he's almost great, but he's not great. He's almost bad, but he's not bad. He's just kind of sitting there in this middle ground, like, he's almost there. But if I were to let him lean one way or another, I'd say he's pretty good, because he's definitely better now than he was when he first came out. When he first came out, he just was honestly really bad. So that's why I bumped him up to B tier, because he can be kind of fun to play. I think he's an enjoyable character, and if I were to put him in the good or bad category, he's a little bit more good, but he just kind of sits there in the, where do I put you? I want to love you, man. I want to love you a lot, but you're just not quite there yet. There's something he's lacking, and I don't know what it is, but there's something he's lacking. Next up is Afira. I'm going to put Afira in C tier, but ahead of Jormungandr. So Afira, like Shinobi, is one of the best characters in the game right now in terms of duels and in 4v4s. She has everything in the kitchen sink at her disposal. Unblockables, undodgeables, dodge cancellations, crushing counters, bashes. Lots of bashes, in fact. A bash kick, which guarantees a heavy. A knee, which guarantees a heavy. Wall splats, which get heavies. Just displacement hits that do like, what doesn't she have? And in my opinion, that's the problem I have with her. Because she has so many options at her disposal, she's a Swiss Army knife in human form. You can do just about anything and everything with her, and that causes two problems. First, for newer players, it makes her very hard to master. You need to spend a lot of time with her to really appreciate her moveset. And three, it means that she is absolutely oppressive in fights. The only benefit to an Afira is because she has so many options, lots of people get into patterns and don't take advantage of all the options. They like to do a specific style of movement and a specific way of attacking that they know works for them. If you can figure out what their regular pattern is, sometimes you can figure them out quicker, which means that Afiras have to be smart enough to really play with the mind a bit. I'm not one of those players, so Afira can be kind of tough for me to pick up and play, but I can't deny that they're a good and very strong character, and I have had some fun playing them in the past. I just don't like going up against them, and I also don't have a whole lot of motivation to keep picking them up. That's kind of where I sit with them. Ocelot. You're going in D tier, a little ahead of Goki. Okay, so Ocelot is the Oonga Boonga character. He presents a lot better than he gives. His design is decent, but I just do not like Ocelots all that much. I feel like they are just a press buttons and win kind of character. Their moveset is nothing really that unique. It's really just a throw attacks until you get a good result kind of thing. And just oppress, just constant oppression. Many people who say that Warlord is the harasser, no, Ocelot is the harasser. And it can be very frustrating. Then there's also that fourth and first feat they have. The first feat makes playing in fours with an Ocelot like very sweaty because they can just appear wherever they want and really apply pressure to zones. You have to spread out your team to counter it. And then the fourth feat, in the end game, that feat can be a nightmare. You really have to watch them for it. It can be very frustrating. Overall, I'm just not a huge fan of Ocelot. I can play them, and there can be some fun there, I guess, but overall, I don't enjoy it all that much, and I definitely don't like fighting against them. Plus, I really had to think about this. Their drip isn't that great. They have like two really decent skins, I feel like, two really decent looks, but the rest of their drip comes from the fact that any color will go well with it because they go off of that tropical feel. But everything else about them, I just don't really... It's not really there. It's not really there. I want to like them more. This is what's sad. I want to like them more because writing Taquani's Legend, my named Ocelot, was a lot of fun. And I think that they have the potential to be really cool. But as they stand right now, they're just not a fun hero for me to play as much as I want them to be. I can enjoy it, but it's once in a blue moon. And I really don't feel like I'm even trying all that hard when I play them. It's a weird situation. With Hitakiri, I can pick them up because it's like, you know what, guys? I'm lazy. I'm bored. I'm just going to play a hero that I can press heavies and win. With Ocelot, I don't even get that because I can't press heavies and win because I can only do 2 heavies in a combo. I don't know. There's something about him. There's something about him. I want to like him more than I do, which is why he's in D tier. I do want to like him more than I do. And there are things I do appreciate about him because I think it's cool to finally have an Aztec Jaguar in the game, but he's lacking. He's lacking. Varangian. Oh, Varangian God. I'm putting you in F tier, but you're at the top of F tier. Hear me out on this. I don't like Varangian Guard's drip. I think a lot of it looks really crappy. I do not like Varangian Guard's playstyle. I think it's bullcrap most of the time. I think that they are a hero that I enjoyed when they first came out, but that was because I was high on the OP bullcrap they represented. Now, I feel like a lot of people play Varangian Guard just to get easy wins. They're crushing counters, their all guard stance, all of it just feels like it's so oppressive. Their unblockables are so hard to read some of the time, and if you guess wrong even slightly, they can just destroy you. Their moveset is not complex enough to make them fun replayability. Like, if I see a rep 40 or higher Varangian, I have to ask, do you remember the color of grass? Because to lock in and play Varangian Guard with that much dedication, that takes diligence. It's almost an impressive level of diligence. I couldn't do that. I honestly could not do that. Varangian is a character that I have to say, all right, I have to play this character. I have to play this character right now. I definitely like playing them more. I definitely feel like there's a little bit more fun to them than Warlord some of the time, but that's only because at least this character can throw some unblockables and make winning a lot easier. But does that make them good in my opinion? No, it just means that I'm like, you know what, I need an easy win, guys. Varingian. Yeah, Varingian's frustrating. Varingian's frustrating. And I definitely don't like playing against them. Just because I can get a lot of good value out of a Varingian does not mean that I enjoy going up against them. They are very, very frustrating. Alright. Next up, Sohei. Oh, Sohei, you're going A tier. You're going to go in A tier right ahead of Blackbriar, but right behind Highlander. Actually, you know what? I gotta be honest with myself. He's above Highlander. When Sohei first came out, I was on board with him. I enjoyed playing him from the very moment he came out, even when everyone said that he was bad. Everyone said, no, we don't like Sohei. He's so bad. He's so weak. He's so unfun. I still played him. I still loved him. And then he got buffed. Now he's a god. Actually, hold on. I'm rethinking this in my head right now. Okay. Change my mind. I'm dropping you down to B tier behind Jeong Jun. What a change, right? Okay, hear me out on this. I just thought about it, and there was one thing that changed. One thing that changed my mind, but it is a big thing. That effing second feat. I love the drip on Sohei. I love the style of Sohei. I love his fighting ability. I love the fact that he has 7 weapons. I love that he's a reference to Benkei. I love how he plays. I've always loved his overall appearance and design. But what kills him for me is that effing second feat. I had to stop and think about all the times I've played as Sohei and all the times I've fought Sohei, and I realized, oh wait, yeah, that second feat makes them cancer. Because once a Sohei gets their second feat, they are almost unkillable. Oh, that second feat needs a rework. I'm sorry, I almost made a huge mistake putting you in the top of A tier, man. I almost made a huge mistake there, because it is true. That second feat is hell. And if they get access to their 4th feat, there is no winning. It's just like, okay, well, this is going to be a long, drag-out game. Even if the rest of their team is shit, if you get one Sohei who can constantly get their souls back, heal themselves, get their souls back, heal themselves, get their souls back, heals themselves, why would you even want to do the one-shot move with Sohei when you can get a free full heal anytime you want? I don't like that. I do not like that. I think that is not healthy for the game or for the character. So sorry, Sohei, I did have to drop you a little bit, but I still love playing you. I think you are a lot of fun to play, but that feat needs fixing. Okay. And last but not least, the new girl in the town, Hatun. I'm going to slide you right behind PK. So let me explain why Hatun is there. I'm not a big fan of a lot of their drip. I only feel like some of their drip is really good, but I love the presence of them. I love the dominating and intimidating aura they give, and I love the deflect playstyle. Let me be real. I've never been good at deflects, but the deflects of Hatun feel satisfying. They feel strong, and now that they've been buffed to allow for kicks, she feels complete. She feels like a character that is a lot more fun to play, requires a good deal of knowledge and skill to play right. Her soft feints are actually really good and require your opponent to think out what they're going to do next. And again, the deflects are pretty hardcore. You've got to be careful with Hatun. You can't just spam buttons, because if she deflects you, ooh, it's not going to be pretty. I really like the way she plays and feels. And so Hatun deserves her place in A tier. And that is my personal ranking of the For Honor characters based only on how I feel about them. I know this was a stupid long video, but what did you guys think? Did you guys enjoy this video? Did you guys have a good time? I hope you guys did like it. Let me know in the comments if you did, because if you enjoyed this and would like me to make more of these, I can do more in the future, like For Honor Best Boy, For Honor Best Girl, and rank them. I can do best ones historically speaking, like their historical, like aspects, like which ones, like based on their overall drip and design. I could do a lot of different tier lists just for fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really, really do. Again, let me know in the comment section what you thought, and as always, guys, I will see you in my next video. Take care.